Ladies and gents, what's happening? Craig Scott, FightTalk.net, lying in my bed on annual leave. I don't want to rub it in, but it is 12:24pm. I'm joined on the phone by Fight Talk brothers in arms, Sam O'Reilly and Adam Noble Forsey. What's happening, boys?
Yeah, good, mate.
Good.
Thanks for doing this.
That's alright.
I was alright until you started rubbing it in that you're off work. I know I've got to go work in about 10 hours.
Oh, I'm off for 2 weeks, mate. I am buzzing. Anybody wants an interview for the next couple of days, let me know. I'll be floating about. I'm going to go and hang out with my mate John O'Donnell tomorrow and get a wee conversation with him on the go, which is always entertaining.
John O'Donnell is my hero. John O'Donnell is a fucking legend.
He's a madman. He's an absolute madman.
Fucking hero.
Is he any good?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that much of him. Like, I hear he's pretty decent.
He is slick. He is very slick. So I put something online saying let's have a boxing discussion, and then lying in my bed, flicking through some questionable websites, I get a phone call from the Noble Forsey. So Adam, what's on your mind, mate? You mentioned a certain heavyweight potentially returning.
Yeah, well, he did a. I'm looking on his Twitter now, and he did a.
I hope it's Audley Harrison.
Yeah. But he did like a meet and greet the other day, didn't he? 50 quid a ticket, by the way.
Wow.
Tables 500 and 600. Sponsorship package available. But yeah, so he's announced he's going to come back after he's got his license. First of all, I did want to kind of mention, sort of, I've done loads of reporting on it about sort of how badly it's been treated by the Boxing Board of Control and VADA and things like that, and sort of the news articles that were created about him testing positive for certain substances which have proved to be unfounded. It does look like he just turns up to certain things, gets a little bit bored, and then the fighter just comes out of him and he starts slagging off Anthony Joshua any chance he can get.
Yeah.
So the fighter comes out of him mad, but the athlete doesn't, because he still hasn't lost a fucking pound. This is my fucking problem with it. I love Tyson Fury. I love what he's achieved. I love how good he can be on his day. I hate that he's been saying he's coming back for 8 months now and hasn't lost a fucking pound. It's bullshit, mate. Just please stop talking to get people to cheer your name and get in the gym and do the work and then come back and make a real fucking comeback, because it's tedious, man.
In his defence, I'm not, I pretty much agree with what Sam's saying, but he was in Marbella and he was starting to lose a bit of weight. We saw the videos of him and Billy Joe Saunders singing and stuff, and everyone was like, yes, this is, the man's back. But there was meant to be, because Box Nation announced that he's going to be fighting on a card in May, and then the British Boxing Board of Control were like, no, he's not, because we're going to push back the hearing until, well, they haven't even set a date yet, I don't think.
No.
They're sort of planning it at the end of October. So in that respect, I can understand how he's become demotivated, and sort of like the witch hunt of what happened after he, pulled off one of the greatest upsets in recent boxing history. You can sort of understand what's going on, but yeah, like we all know fighters, and they all put on a little bit of weight, but they don't get in that shape, do they, until they retire?
I think the biggest thing for me is you've already mentioned there he's doing a night, a charity, a meet and greet or whatever it is, charging 50 quid a ticket. As soon as I hear somebody's doing that sort of thing, I go, oh, he needs money. Needs money. So the whole thing, and I put it on Twitter last night. I said I'm bored of it, man. Like, if he was to go away for a few months and come back and not look fight ready, but look as though he'd shook a bit of weight off and then said, yeah, listen, I'm being serious, this is the comeback. Craig's on board, man. I'm on board with that, that's fine. But if you're still going to be just rolling up to events in suits that Bernard Manning would have struggled to fit in, I struggle to commit myself to that, and I just think, all right, cool, we're going to see Instagram videos for a month, and then he's going to fall off the radar again, or he's going to go on a huff with his uncle or Box Nation or Mick Hennessy or whoever it is he wants to go in a bad mood with, and he's going to drop off the radar.
Yeah, I'm the exact same. He's obviously a character of extremes. Do you know what I mean? He was shape he was in when he fought Klitschko, and to get to that stage, he'd been in tremendous shape, and he was focused on becoming heavyweight champion of the world. And make no mistake about it, Tyson Fury achieved, I believe, everything he ever wanted to. I can't imagine when he started out, because he never really spoke about, legacies and wanting to be all the belts and forever. You know what I mean? It was always, I need to be heavyweight champion of the world. And he did that.
Yeah.
He achieved that. And it kind of fell off then. It was them, now what? And he struggled for motivation, I believe. And yeah, like I said, I want him to come back, but I completely agree with Craig. It's now boring. Go away, come back. Let's see a picture of you actually having lost some weight. Not just going for a run, because I go for a run. I'm a fat fuck. Doesn't mean I do anything. You know what I mean? But I'm not saying I'm coming back to win the heavyweight champ and knock out this pumped up bodybuilder and Anthony Joshua, which, that's his opinion of him. That's great. Put him in his place if you firmly believe that. But you need to get your nut down for fucking 4, 5, 6 months. Train, lose 5 or 6 stone, I'd imagine, and get yourself in fighting shape, because the boxing world could do with a Tyson Fury back, but he's letting himself down by just talking about it and not actually doing it.
Can I ask Adam? I want to know. Do you think everything that's went on with Tyson Fury? Do you think it's our fault? Not our fault, like us three, but in fact, fucking hell, a portion of it probably is. Do you feel as though the way that he was treated after the Klitschko fight, the way that the media pounced on every word that he said, and the way that he's been treated by the British Boxing Board of Control, whether it's the VADA hearings, whether it's the cocaine stuff, whether it's the delaying of the trials or whatever is going on, have we created this monster to an extent? Because between fights before, I don't ever remember seeing him this big or this out of shape or this disinterested in boxing. He might have put a bit of weight on, but I don't remember it being so drastic.
His early fights that used to be televised on ITV, and Channel 5, like everyone watched that. That's why he's such a big name, because everybody was able to see him for free on a Friday, Saturday night when they're having a takeaway. That, even my mum knows who Tyson Fury is, and she doesn't know any boxers are. It's that sort of mainstream effect he has. So he's always been a fat guy. Like even against Klitschko, he was in great shape. He has that sort of tire around his sort of midriff area, which he can't seem to shift. But yeah, in a way, but that's, the British tabloids are the worst in the world. They'll jump on any tiny thing. I thought it was pretty disgusting. Like he quoted some passages that I'm not a religious man at all, but he quoted some passages from the Bible. And, for someone that lives in a so-called Christian country, I didn't really see what the issue was with it personally. But, there was one, a guy from one of the main news websites, either ITV or, I'm pretty sure it was ITV. He was just going out for a run.
Yeah.
When he got back from Klitschko, and they were like running up to him, and he was a little bit like, "What's going on? I'm just out having a run. I'm not really in the mood." He's obviously got a nice side. But I also blame the people who claim to be looking after him, his team. Everyone involved. Everyone's played a part. I'll tell you now, if Tyson Fury was with Eddie Hearn from the beginning of his career, the guy would be massive.
Yeah.
Not as in fat. I mean, in terms of, he would have had probably 35 fights by now. He would have fought some of the best fighters in the world. Him and Frank Warren were constantly having spats over little things, like the whole lead up to the second Derek Chisora fight. The whole team was against Tyson Fury, the whole Box Nation team. They really wanted him to lose. And then as soon as he beats, it's like that film Southpaw, where as soon as the other guy beats him, the promoter's like, "Oh, come with me. You can work with me now." So, it's just been a mess, the whole thing. And Team Fury still looks like a bit of a mess with what's been going on with the Hughie Fury-Joseph Parker fight. So, it's never one person. Obviously, Tyson Fury has to take, some blame, but it's never just one person. It's an array of different things that contribute to, in my opinion, the most naturally gifted boxer the UK has seen for many, many years. Just this sad story of just this big fat man who's just whining about Anthony Joshua.
Yeah. So what you say that the Box Nation team and these people wanted them to lose against Chisora in that rematch? Where are you getting that from, or what sort of stuff are we basing that on?
Okay, so I went up to, when I was working for the Fight Guru, I went up to do an interview with Peter Fury, and it was in the build-up to the Chisora Fury fight, the second one. They'd already had the cancellation, and then he was meant to fight Ustinov, and then he pulled out like the morning of the fight. Tyson Fury did.
Yeah.
It was in the lead up to that. So I went up to do an interview, and Frank Warren and Box Nation were saying they've announced the fight, everything's done. I went up and did an interview with Peter Fury, and he said the contract hadn't been signed. I don't know why they're announcing the fight. We've been trying to get the contract signed, but they haven't done it. They'd spent ridiculous amounts of money on lawyers, which culminated in Frank Warren's at the time publicist phoning me up and threatening to sue me because I conducted an interview with Peter Fury. So
someone wanted to sue you.
Yeah, believe it or not. So again, more just trying to scare people and they're not going to do anything. But yeah, so this has been going on. And you look at interviews with Tyson Fury on IFL TV. There's one interview where he goes, he's a wanker, talking about Frank Warren. And then Kugan Cassius goes, he's going to see this, and he laughed at himself, said, I really don't care. So there's, it's not been the best relationship, let's say. And his biggest ever fight he had ended up being on Sky Sports. So they invest that time and money into him. You can see why Frank Warren's a bit pissed off. So
yeah,
it's just been, from the word go, it's been a fucking mess.
Sam, you leaving us?
I will do in a minute, but I'm quite enjoying this chat. I've got to drive off somewhere, but I do like talking about Tyson. I'm a fan of him. I'm one of these weird breeds that I get dirty, that I get rude messages when I say I'm allowed to like Anthony Joshua and I like Tyson Fury. People can't seem to get their head around it. It's very, boxing purists are very Team Fury, and anyone else seems to be Team Joshua. I love Joshua. I think they both bring a lot to the sport. I really do. I think they both have their own, their own style. Obviously, they both have their own stories. Anthony Joshua's just a pumped up bodybuilder. Yes, so you know what? It's irrelevant. It kind of becomes irrelevant when he's knocking people out the way he is. And is he a good role model for boxing? I think he is. I think this is the problem. People who are Team Fury and pro Team Fury, they throw out, he was in trouble when he was young with police and stuff. He was, but he's turned that around and he's now the unified champion of the world. Keeps his nose clean to as much as you can do, I guess, being a fucking human being. And he's, GQ personally. He gets all these accolades because he's a good role model and he talks to people and stays in shape to fight, which is what his job is. So I like those guys. I think that it would be a great division. A great division if they were both active in it and it was a matter of time before they fought. Whereas at this stage, who knows if it'll ever happen, because we've just got one side talking about it and one guy, I'm pretty sure Joshua would take the fight, no doubt, but
yeah, within a heartbeat.
Yeah, so Fury needs to get himself in shape, and that's all I have to say about that.
Do you think the anger and the disrespect or the sort of the feelings they have towards Joshua, do you think that is misguided and it should be guided back on themselves? They should be looking in the mirror and thinking, listen, Joshua's doing nothing wrong. If anything, Joshua's building the pus. Joshua's going to make us more money if that fight ever happens. Do you think they should be placing the anger back on the people in their own camp or back on the people who are handling their own business side of things? Because it's very, very obvious, even looking at this YouTube thing, which is a very interesting platform, the YouTube thing for the Hughie Fury Joseph Parker fight. Interesting platform, but it's been so poorly brought out. It's very late notice. No one really knew what was going on. We're going to make an announcement at 10 in the morning. It was 11 at night, nothing had happened. It was kind of cringy the way it was dealt with. Do you think they should be looking more at themselves and their own team and thinking, what are we doing here? Because I don't think Joshua's the one that's in the wrong or has done anything wrong. All he's doing is making them more money.
Yeah, definitely. Do you know what? It's been a shit show from top to bottom because, he's with Hennessy and he's with Warren and they don't seem to really get on and always sing from the same hymn sheet. And 3 weeks before the biggest fight of Hughie's career, it was all undecided. The platform wasn't chosen or we weren't made aware of it. And it's not all over YouTube now. I thought you'd search the word boxing and you'd see a million adverts for it and stuff. You know, the New Age Boxing Podcast boys were talking about that, and that's exactly what I've been thinking. Why is it not everywhere? Why is it not all over anything that says the word boxing in it on YouTube? It's crazy.
Well, they've spent all the money paying for Joseph Parker to come over here, so there's hardly anything. That's why Joseph Parker and that, I don't think they're that bothered. They're getting paid no matter what.
Yeah.
So
1.8 million.
Yeah.
And
it's not bad, is it?
So if you
easily a career paid. Sorry, man.
I was going to say if you're going to cover his costs from the YouTube, you'd have to sell 180,000 on YouTube, which is not ever going to happen.
Yeah.
Really, that's the maths.
Yeah. I mean, to answer
tough.
your question, Craig, you're right. They're misguided being angry at Anthony Joshua, because what has Anthony Joshua done wrong to be offensive to the Furies, if you look at it that way, apart from be the golden boy of British boxing? Now, that comes down to the media again. They give Joshua a nicer time of it than they did Fury, and I don't think there's any denying that, because they jump all over a word Tyson Fury says. It's quite pathetic the way anytime he says anything a little bit that's, out of the blue or whatever, they were on his ass, and Joshua doesn't seem to get that. But alright, Joshua doesn't seem to put himself in as much fucking predicaments like Fury does, but you know what I mean? It comes back from that, in my opinion, that they just need to have a look at the way they managed and promoted themselves, because he's still young. How old is Tyson? 28?
Yeah, he's a year older than Anthony Joshua.
Can you imagine? Peter Fury phoned Eddie Hearn and said, look, water under the bridge, Tyson wants to be with you, let's build... Mate, within 3 or 4 years he'd be in the biggest fight, probably quicker than that.
Well, it doesn't look like Peter Fury's going to be having anything to do with Tyson Fury's career anymore.
Yeah, that's the other thing. That's the other thing, isn't it? You don't really know what's going to happen there with that dynamic.
That could change. Who knows?
I'm gonna leave you to continue, boys. But yeah, I want to see Fury back in there, but I'm sick of him talking about being back in there. That's it.
Okay, mate.
Goodbye.
Later, boys.
Goodbye, Sam.
Goodbye, mate.
Sam O'Reilly has departed the Tyson Fury discussion. So
he made a really good point there about the teams. You look how well Anthony Joshua is managed at press conferences, at everything, the publicising that goes behind him. Tyson Fury's publicising is him on his phone, going on the Twitter app. That's basically it.
But does he do that? Does he do that to himself though, Adam? Does he cut himself off, and does he? Because we know he's from the travelling community, and we've got a lot of respect for the way they conduct themselves and the boxing heritage that pumps through their veins. But they're they're kind of exclusive. They don't, they don't let people in easily. They don't trust easily. Generally speaking, they wouldn't put their career in the hands of an Eddie Hearn type character because they don't see him as trustworthy. So does he do that to himself in a way?
Yeah, well, that's really fucking stupid from any boxer's standpoint. If you're a traveller, if you're anything, like, why would you? Yeah, Eddie Hearn's a bit smarmy and a little bit of a bullshitter. You compare him to any other boxing promoter, he's a walk in the park. He really is. I thought Hughie Fury was just going on this rant on TalkSport and stuff about how Eddie Hearn's a snake. Well, all of Eddie Hearn's fighters are very, very rich.
Yeah.
Even the not very good ones. I look at Ricky Burns. Ricky Burns was completely bankrupt.
Yep.
Completely bankrupt. The guy's in a good place now. And he's probably lost more fights than he's won at world level anyway, since he's been with Eddie Hearn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Carl Froch is another great example. After his defeat to Andre Ward, after a defeat where he looked very average against Andre Ward, is what Andre Ward will do to most fighters.
Yeah.
And then he's earned more money, like 20 times more money in the rest of his career than he ever did before.
Yeah.
So it's, and everyone could say, he's silver spoon, he's got Sky Sports. Well, if you're a fighter, you shouldn't give a shit about that. You should just be like, where can I go, earn the most money, get the best profile, and get great fights, and get out with, my brain's intact. That's the name of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. So where do we go from here then? Do we take any notice of the I'm coming back announcement, or do we leave it and do we let it simmer until we actually see a difference physically?
Well, being a boxing fan, like it's hard to ignore it. Like even what Sam was saying, we get bored of him just shouting his mouth out. Everyone's got one of them friends who talks a good fight. Do you know what I mean? Then when it comes down to it, they're at the back of the line. So there's a bit of that going on. I think people don't like that. But yeah, ideally, what he did against Klitschko was ridiculous. It was ridiculous, that performance.
Yeah.
And how good he was. And I was really excited. I was like, yeah, we've got any British fighter. I don't care if they're traveller, black, Asian, whatever. Any British fighter, I want them to do as well as possible. And Tyson Fury, when I did an interview with Pete Fury about this subject, I was talking about this, that Tyson Fury had the ability to become that sort of dominating force on the heavyweight division, almost like a lower level of sort of Floyd Mayweather or something like that. Really go on and beat everyone and create the greatest resume ever. But it's all for nothing. He'll be remembered as the fat chippo. That's not my words. That's what people are going to think.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Hughie Fury, Joseph Parker. Quickly, because we've already spoke about this in other videos. What do you think of that fight? How's it going to play out?
Again, it's a tough one. It sort of reminds me of the lead up to the Tyson Fury against Vladimir Klitschko fight, where we hadn't really seen Tyson Fury in at that higher level before. But my heart says Hughie by points. I think Hughie's the naturally better boxer. He was a world star at amateur level. Obviously, there's been problems with his health and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not totally convinced. But yeah, if someone gave me a tenner and said you have to go and put a bet on, I'd go and put it on Hughie Fury on points.
See, I fancy.
What do you think?
I think Joseph Parker. I don't think he'll stop him, but I just feel as though when I look at who's impressed me, or none of them have really impressed me to an extent where I would say they're going to be a dominant heavyweight champion. But
yeah, I agree with that.
Parker's performance against Andy Ruiz, he's got a lot in the tank, and that was a kind of tricky fight, probably trickier than it should have been on paper. But Hughie's just never really. He's a very good boxer, but he's never really electrified me. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he's the quickest. I don't think he hits the hardest. His ring IQ is tremendous. He's obviously got boxing in his blood, and you can see that. But for me, I just think Parker's a bit snappier. He's got a bit more snap in his punches. He's very quick, very sharp. I don't think he's big. I don't think he hits hard, but I think Parker might win on points.
Finally, just one point about Parker. In his defence, when he fought Andy Ruiz, the lead up to that fight, the camp, was ridiculous for Joseph Parker. So his wife had a kid.
Yeah.
His kid, thankfully. He flew back from Vegas to see his child be born. There was a problem, not a problem, but the birth took longer than they thought. So then he had to fly back. He missed the birth of his first child. Also, at the time, his sister was getting married, so apparently his family unit's very tight. So he had his whole family sort of, you need to come back for this wedding, while he's, going to become the first New Zealand heavyweight champion ever. So, and he still came through the Ruiz fight. Like, some people could argue that Ruiz won, but in terms of a pro, Joseph Parker's a good pro. But yeah, it's a 50-50. But I'm edging towards Hughie.
It's an interesting fight. We'll see what happens. On you go.
Will you pay? One thing I heard about the YouTube thing, which is a bit weird. So they're saying it's a tenner at the moment, but on the week of the fight, it goes up to 15 quid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So it's like an early bird special.
Yeah, but a tenner's okay, but 15 quid, yeah. That's like 2 hours. That's 2 hours work for a lot of people.
But who's even on the undercard? Like, I've not heard anything about the card at all.
It's not very good. Who's on it? The guy with the specs who fought Liam Smith for the
Jimmy Kelly
title.
Jimmy
he's
Kelly.
On it. Conchian was on it, but he's off it. But yeah, there's shit all on the undercard.
So putting that up to 15 quid is an ask. If you don't have anything to support that, I'm intrigued to see how the live feed turns out. I'm actually in Croatia when the fight is on. I'll probably try and get it, but I don't know, man. I don't know. The thing we've spoken about before with pay-per-view is, the way I look at it is, if I didn't get it, if I didn't pay for it, would I be gutted if I missed it? And that's a fight where I'd probably get over it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'll be totally honest. I rarely pay for pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Unless it's a group of mates and we're at someone's house and we'll chuck a couple of quid in or whatever. But yeah, like most people are legally streaming these days anyway. So, but I don't know. Are they going to be able to get that sorted? It looks like it's going to be pretty easy to get an illegal stream for the. There's equipment that's quite easily available for cheaper than the £10 asked to be able to illegally stream stuff. So. Yeah, it's not great. I feel a bit sorry for Huey because it's like such a big moment for him. But it's one thing after the other with the Furies. We had the whole New Zealand thing, and Joseph Parker and Kevin Barry worked quite hard so that Peter Fury could get his visa to come into to make it a fair fight. And then they pulled out. I don't know how bad his injury was. I'm sure he was injured, but some of the things I've been learning, nothing would surprise me.
FightTalk.net do not support the use of illegal devices for illegal streaming, but they are on the market, so I'm sure if anybody wanted to go and get them, they would.
Email me.
Yeah, nice one. Right, we'll leave it there then, mate. We'll see what happens, see what unfolds over the next couple of weeks with these with this Fury camp. Always exciting, never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. Any last thoughts?
No, not really, mate. There's, I don't know, just a lot of it. I don't know, just social media in general. It does my Swede.
Yeah.
The whole thing. So, but yeah, always interesting.
Indeed.
Good chat.
Indeed. So. Right, we shall catch up soon, I'm sure. FightTalk.net, Craig, Adam, Sam was on, got selfish, left, whatever. Don't know what he's away to do. Something probably monotonous, like monoblock his front garden or something like that. Yeah, we'll catch up soon, mate. Take it easy.